What's going on, guys? Mr. Bropo here, bringing you an action figure review on the definitely totally new this thing, Enchantress from the Dormammu Build-A-Figure. Oh no, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? Mr. Bropo here. I wanted to show this off quick. I got this figure for $3 at Bell's Outlet, I think. Yeah, $3. Pretty decent deal, I must say. I never intended on picking this figure up, but for $3, I was like, what the heck? I need more villains on my shelf, and I must say, for $3, not disappointed at all. So that's really cool. Anyways, that's not the reason why we're here, though. We're here for the new NECA Ultimate Fugitive Predator from the new Predator movie. The Predator is its name. And, oh my goodness, I am very excited for this. This, alongside the new Ahab Predator, the re-release of the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, the new, like, revamped version. Here's the packaging. Go ahead and take a quick look at that. Move Fugitive out the way. So, as you guys can see, it's some pretty nice packaging, you know, pretty standard, well, not standard, but the way it's designed is standard, but the actual, you know, logos and the pictures and everything are all different because it's Fugitive Predator, and this is the first release of him. We got that really cool Velcro that keeps this like window flap sort of, you know, put together so you can have it displayed, collector friendly. Supposedly, you got a bunch of cool promo shots here, so that's really neat. So, let's go ahead and take a quick look at this guy. But before we do, huge shout out to Deadpool. I've got to say, huge shout out to Deadpool ACBA on Instagram. Go follow, like, whatever, do all that good stuff. Follow this man. He sent me this super quick. I gotta thank you so much. But anyway, let's get on to this figure review. To some, this may be just another Predator figure, but to be honest, this is a little more than that for me. No, I do not have a super personal attachment to the movie. I've not seen the movie yet, unfortunately. I wanted to go see it, but they took it out of freaking movies too fast. But, I do want to see it, and I'm interested in it, but this is my first Predator figure that I have received or purchased or whatever since, like, the first Predator figure that I ever bought, like, the first NECA figure I've ever bought. So having a new, updated, you know, Predator with better articulation and more accessories is really freaking cool. So I have not gotten a taste of any of that new stuff that all the new kids are, you know, accustomed to, man. I had Predator from back in, well, I don't even know what year it was. 2014 is when the figure came out. Found him at Toys R Us. It was like a little less than 20 bucks. I'll show him off later as a comparison, but yeah, man, just freaking awesome. I'm gonna show you guys the accessories in a little bit, but I just wanted to take a quick look at this guy. I am super impressed with this, honestly. Just awesome. Really, really cool. Alright, guys, so we have the entire array of accessories here for the Fugitive Predator. Kind of lacking, to be completely honest. I mean, that's probably the only fault I really have with the figure. It's not a terrible lack of accessories, it just definitely could have been more. Although, like I said, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. It could have, he could have just used this and not really much else, and this is just good enough. So yeah, you know, whatever it may be, it is what it is. If he's lacking accessories, that might just be that, but it's still a decent amount. You get 2 heads, you get 2 interchangeable forearms, and then the wrist gauntlets, the blades, those can pop out as well, so you could have one sticking out and one not sticking out, none sticking out at all. You know, just sort of mix and match with that a little bit, kind of like the Marvel Legends Wolverines as of late. And then we have the 2 open palm hands, and then we have the 2 fist hands, so a decent amount of accessories, enough to get the job done. Let's go ahead and take a look at this head sculpt right here. The maskless head sculpt. Let's see if we could get it to focus a little bit better. That's pretty decent. And a lot of really good there's a lot of paint detail, a lot of good sculpt work. The eyes look just super menacing. They look crazy. Really look beady eyes, kind of. And the inner mandibles and the mandibles in the inner mouth look really good. You got the dreads, you know, all individually sculpted. It all looks great, honestly. This might be my preferred head sculpt, but this mask too, man, it looks super cool. Again, looks really menacing and just mean looking, you know, as that these really cool gold sort of like you know, dark gold painted details. The sculpt work is very detailed as well. You have like this sort of glossy you know, paint for like the visors, like the eye parts. Really cool. Again, the dreads are you know, really nicely sculpted, and they're soft plastic, so that won't get in the way of articulation, and it's still, the paint and the sculpt still goes through into the mask here, this portion of the mask, so it looks like, you know, his face, his head, his skull is still under it's like under a mask, you know. This is not removable, because obviously you have the other head, but yeah, a lot of good detail, as really good stuff, really good paint detail, and it was same with everything else, same on the figure, which we'll go ahead and take a look at now. Alright guys, so we have the figure here. We're going to go ahead and take a closer look at it. Really tall and imposing, just a mean looking predator. He's not a predator you want to mess with. Honestly, it sort of makes me think of a question that could be brung up for people like me or other people in the toy collecting community, and just why collect figures. And besides, for me personally, besides being able to do stop motions and pose them and recreate things from TV shows and movies and whatever, this is one of them, especially with NECA. I mean, if you just really you know, have one of these in hand and just admire the paint and the paint variation and the detail in the paint and the detail in the sculpt, it's just phenomenal. I mean, for the price point as well, it's just, I mean, it's great. I think it's like, it's a work of art, to be completely honest. It's like a collectible statue. You know, they get to put a lot of detail into it because it's not a toy, you know, it's a statue. But NECA's able to do that, you know, put that much detail into their figures and still into articulation. Alright, so enough gawking at all the sculpt work and paint detail and everything. Let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So, his head, because you can pop him off, is on, let's see, so we have a ball peg, or we have like a ball in this socket, and this is a peg, and this pegs into the head, so it allows for some pretty dang good range of motion. So let's go ahead and pop that back on, and we can see that he looks down about this much, and then he can look up about this much. Let me see, about this much. So a pretty decent range. He gets some head pivot as well, so that's really good. Yeah, really good, you know, range. His head is not hindered from doing a full 360. A little bit with the dreads and the, you know, the articulated, the little shoulder blaster, which for articulation, this has a hinge here, and a little ball joint. It has a little bit of pivot and can swivel around and stuff, so that's really good. This is made out of soft plastic, so it doesn't get in the way too much of going forward or going back. You could technically do a 360, but it's going to start to bend the plastic and look weird. For some reason, this Predator, his shoulders are pretty tight, so it only go out this much, when I feel like it could go out just a little bit more, but that's not a big deal. No bicep swivel, but we have two swivels in the elbow, sort of similar to what we saw with the Pennywise, for I think both Pennywises actually, where you have this sort of deal with this piece in the middle and this hinge and a peg that goes into here and a hole that goes into here in this upper part of the arm. Same thing with this, and this allows for this to be pulled out and interchanged. So double jointed elbows right here allow for good range and plenty of swiveling there, and both hands hinge good and swivel good as well. The diaphragm joints work well. They can go forward about this much, maybe a little bit more, because my particular one, it was a little loose when I got it, so I had to glue one of these parts, one of the diaphragm joints, to make it stay. So it goes out, but still, even with just one diaphragm joint, it'll go back this much and forward that much, so good amount of range. You know, it'll swivel just fine as well. Hips move out this much, so it do almost full splits. They move out about this much, and move back about that much. Upper thigh swivel in there. We have double jointed knees, which is really nice, and I think, yeah, there's a swivel in here too. That's really good. And for the ankles, you just have like a ball peg, so they can go forward about this much, go back not at that much, and then they kind of pivot a little bit, a decent amount, not a whole bunch, but he has pretty big feet, so he won't have too much trouble. If you you know, mess around with the rest of the leg articulation, you should be able to get him into some pretty decent action poses and stuff. So yeah, really cool. Alright guys, so for comparisons with the Predator, we have the Marvel Legends Warlock Build-A-Figure Wave Cyclops and the newly found $3 Enchantress from the Dormammu Build-A-Figure Wave. So, as you can see, he rightfully so towers over the... Now, we have Pennywise the Dancing Clown and Pennywise the Dancing Clown. 2017 and 1990, if you couldn't tell. So yeah, the 1990, you know, Tim Curry rendition is a pretty big figure, but this Bill Skarsgård one is actually a fair bit taller than this. And when I first got this guy, I'm like, wow, he's pretty dang tall. But Predator's still taller than him. And to be honest, we have the Fugitive Predator standing alongside the Cracked Tusk Predator, Rambo, and the Alien 3 NES inspired Alien, the dog, Alien, I forget what his name was, but we got, it's the entire cast of, so to say, of one of my most popular stop motions on this channel, the Alien versus Rambo versus Predator stop motion, which was really fun to do. I was really happy with how that came out, and it's one of my favorite, probably my favorite stop motion I've done personally. But anyways, yeah, it was cool to have these guys all standing side by side and stuff. We'll take these guys out for now and just sort of focus on the two Predators. And as you can see, Fugitive is still a little taller than this guy. Like I said, I had this guy for a while now. It was my first NECA figure I think I've ever picked up. I saw him and I was kind of getting into some, you know, I was kind of getting into movies and old 80s movies and VHS tapes and whatever, and so I was like, oh man, it's Predator and stuff. And, you know, I was talking to my brother and I was like, man, like, this looks cool, I might have to pick this up, this is a dope figure. And that's what led me into collecting NECAs actually, so really cool that I have another Predator to go along with this. Would love to pick up the new Ahab Predator to have like a little mini clan of Predators on the shelf. I've been really hyped for that figure, so I might have to pick him up soon and review him for sure. But yeah, really cool having these guys next to each other. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I really have to say, man, I gotta recommend this figure to you if you're a NECA fan or you know, into Predators or any of that stuff. Really awesome figure for sure. Such a great piece. And shout out to Deadpool7129ACBA on Instagram. Go check him out right now. Link in the description or something. For sure, because he's awesome. So he takes some really dope, you know, articulated comic book art pics and just some, you know, just dope stuff, man. So shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the figure, and thank you guys for watching, like I said, and I'll catch you in the next review. Later.
This is awesome, man.